All right, guys. I was listening to a few channels today, and everybody's talking like we got another 2 to 5 years for all this stuff to come to a head. And nothing's going to happen this year. This is my problem with this scenario. We don't have another year of prep time. We don't have another 6 months. If we lose this election, if this election goes to Kamala Harris, we're done. They've won. Okay? Because here's what you got to put into your head. Look up the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. If something is rigged against you, you can't keep going into it. And I'm not understanding why these people are having a hard time comprehending this. And I understand a lot of people saying, "Oh, but we got this, we got that, we got this. Oh, this is taken care of now," and blah blah blah. There's still ways to get around it. The only way to fix a rigged system is walk away from it. Don't play the game. There was, I think it's David Nino Rodriguez. He has Nino's Corner. I was listening to him today. Now, I'm not calling him out. I'm not telling y'all that, don't listen to him. He's saying that there's going to be a nuclear threat in his head. There's going to be a nuclear threat probably December, January, or February next year. We don't have that time frame. If Trump is going to be put in office, like everybody's predicting, we're not going to get there through votes. They've already rigged the system. Matter of fact, they've already got mail-in ballots already ready to go. That is what they're wanting. So, they've already rigged the system. If we go and vote, we're going to have the same result we had in 2020. There is not going to be an election, in my opinion, because we can't have one when it is already set to fail. They will do anything and everything to make sure Donald Trump does not get in office. They will do anything and everything to make sure of that. They've already said that they will do anything and everything to make sure he does not get in office. Because that means they will be brought up on treason charges. Okay? Now, this may be too spicy for YouTube. I don't know. We'll find out if this gets demonetized. But there's a lot of things, a lot of gears moving right now. And Used to, you could speak your mind on YouTube. Nowadays, you can't. Used to, you could speak your mind to the public. Now you can't. Unless you're speaking what they want to hear. If they don't like your message, if they don't like you preaching about God, they don't like anything like that, they'll try to kill you. And it's a shame that we are in this state. We haven't had true freedom in this country in a really, really long time. So, when the chains are broken, when, not if, when the chains are broken, you're going to experience things that you thought you had like you've never experienced before. Just like in the Bible, they had to go get their riches back, the slaves in Egypt, when the Pharaoh was defeated by God. There's a lot of issues to where we will be getting things back. It's going to be done differently. But if we have to wait another year, the militias aren't going to keep holding. The military that's here on American soil right now is not going to be just sitting around for another year. It's not going to happen that way. We have to understand there is a limited time. If we lose if Trump is not elected president in November, we're done. And if they know how to cheat the system 6 ways from Sunday, and there's only 6 ways to cheat the system, they already mastered that. It's just like playing with a known cheater and getting mad because he cheated again, and nobody does anything about it. People are fed up with the cheating. So God is going to straighten this out, and God only needs 24 hours. Everybody thinks things are going to drag on for another 6, 7 years, 8, 10, 20 years, and we're not going to see any relief in our lifetime. That's where you're wrong. We are going to be seeing some relief soon. If I understand correctly, by the end of this year, our finances are going to change. The people that's been put at the back of the line are going to be put at the front, and the people at the front of the line are going to be at the back of the line. People that have stolen from you is going to be forced to pay you back 7. Some people are saying 7 times, and some people are saying 7-fold. So we'll see how that goes. But you need to stop running these scenarios in your head and just put your faith in God, and God will get this done. Don't look to men to fix this. And the reason I'm telling you this is because a lot of people are relying on that election. Don't rely on the election for this to be fixed. What happens if there's no election? Then what do we do? Everybody's going to run around with like a chicken with their head cut off? No. There are things put into effect. Okay? not going to go into debate on that on this channel. But there are plans out there to where if you do a little bit of digging, you'll find them. That's all I'm going to say. So just try to understand what's really going on and stop taking everybody's word for it and start listening to God and take His word for it. Okay? I don't predict things, but I am going to say this. If we have any kind of a chance, October is going to be that chance. The winds of change have already happened. We're still in the wind phase, but there's fixing to be a abrupt stop to what the Democrats are doing, and it's going to be abrupt. It's going to come to a screeching halt pretty quickly, and a lot of people are not comprehending how powerful God really is. God parted the Red Sea by, I don't know, blowing His nose. So He was able to have He lit the way by fire during the night and by a tornado during the day for Moses. If I remember that story correctly, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But the people He saved from Egypt, the slaves to go to the promised lands, God had a fire by night and a tornado by day to lead them in the direction they needed to go. So if God can do that with a flick of a wrist or a sneeze, I'm pretty sure God can straighten everything out in 24 hours with a flick of a fingernail. Okay? It doesn't take much for Him to be able to fix things. The problem comes when people are refusing to take His help. Stop resisting God. If you believe in God at any level, why don't you trust what He will do for you? Trusting God in listening to you is a step in the direction that you need to be. But if you only think God is going to listen to you and not do anything else, you're sadly mistaken. Why would I listen to my wife but never talk to her? Why would I look at my wife while she's doing something and ignore her? That's what you're basically saying God is doing, is ignoring you because He didn't give you a shiny new pony every year that you've prayed about. If you haven't received your blessing, don't stop praying about the blessing you're wanting, even if it takes a year. And thank Him even though you haven't received it yet. You will get it. But like I said, it may take him some time to do it. But you need to have faith in God to fix it. God can fix this. He will fix this. You just have to give him the time to do it. And it's in his time, not your time. So, I was having a conversation with a guy at work, and he's getting burned out on everything because he's having to work so much. I mean, everybody's getting burned out and ready to throw towels in, and it's like, dude, just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. People are at the end of their ropes right now. And y'all think this is still going to go on for another year, maybe 2? No, we're at the breaking point. People are fixing to take up arms and take their cities and towns back. All these corrupt officials are not going to be, there's going to be street justice if these things don't get taken care of. If there's another rigged election, there is going to be all kinds of craziness in the streets. People are tired of this. We don't have another year. So, stop thinking about a year, 2 years, 5 years from now, we're in the same system. We can't be. The American dollar is down the toilet. It's worthless. We can't sustain anything. If you want a cheeseburger that pays $150 for a cheeseburger with worthless money, go right ahead. But we can't do that. So, what's the next alternative? That's why they're trying to do the bank cryptocurrency thing that nobody's signing off on. Our money is going to have to be backed by gold and silver from here on out. It's got to be. Because in the Constitution it says that is our currency. It was always supposed to be backed by gold and silver. But they turned around and did it with with oil. So they actually broke the Constitution when we went to the dollar bill that we have. And when they threatened to throw people in prison for not turning over their gold and silver, they committed treason back then. But nobody stood up for the people. This is where all the problems are. The people don't have the voices, or they think they don't have the voices. All we have to do is stand with each other and stand up for each other. But today, everybody's all worried about the money. How much money I can make off this, how much money I can make off that. I'm sorry, my time is worth way too much money, and you don't look like you can afford it. That's not how this is supposed to be going. I don't know how many innocent people are in prison because attorneys are so greedy. Because they don't want to represent somebody that won't pay them. Well, how are they supposed to make a living? Well, they can take a pro bono case every once in a while, right? Or are they too good for that? Matter of fact, I think every attorney should have to take pro bono cases every once in a while. Even the big shot attorneys' offices. Because I know for a fact the only pro bono cases that, where an attorney is assigned to you are the guys that are just out of law school that don't know how to wrestle with the big guys. And 9 times out of 10, those cases are tanked at the very beginning because of the attorney. So it's a big problem. People are not being properly represented. People are not being properly people aren't even being are being wrongfully arrested all the time. It's getting out of hand. And then nothing happens to the law enforcement when they do that. But that's another tale for another day. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. Be safe. And remember, this is in God's hands, not our hands. Okay? Be safe. Have a good night. And I will talk to you guys the next time. God loves you.